Well, here we are in Girona in northern Spain in the company of Bradley Wiggins, 1 week away from the Tour de France. Brad, after a stunning debut last year, 4th place. Not a lot of people thought you were going to do that, Brad, but not for the first time. You proved a few people wrong. I bet you can't wait for the Tour to start now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. More because obviously this has been the goal all year, and you know, since the team was announced at the end of last year, it's been no secret that this has been what the team has been aiming for, and it's our Olympics, so this is our kind of big thing, and obviously I'm the chosen one to lead that team and try and get a result. So the whole year's been based around that, physically, and getting to best possible condition now at this stage, and it's all gone pretty well, and we're looking forward to it now. So.
Now, it's a scorching hot day here in northern Spain, and it's going to be pretty hot for quite a few days. Just explain to normal, sane people why you're looking forward to a race which is over 2,000 kilometres long, 3 weeks, up mountains. I mean, I would say probably the toughest sporting challenge there is.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously half the beauty of it is the what it stands for, the Tour de France, the history of the Tour de France. How severe it is kind of what, you know, the beauty of it really is people struggle to come to terms with, you know, racing 6 hours a day, day in, day out, for 3 weeks is what makes it such a spectacle. Is because it's not easy, and it is hard, and climbing mountains, and you know, it's got a great history, and that's what makes it so special, especially to us as riders. Because you realise when you're on the Tour de France that it is the biggest race in the world, cycling-wise, and that nothing else comes close to it. So when you do well in an event like that, you know, it's obviously very nice, and you know, you always want to go back and do it again. So it's yeah, that's kind of really.
Well, I bet you want to come back and do it again, because you finished 4th last year, and I would suggest, Brad, that you have approached it this year armed with the knowledge of last year. You've probably done a few things differently. I know, for example, you've really sussed out the course a lot more this time than last time.
Yeah, we went on a recon camp last week and did most of the big climbs in the Alps and Pyrenees, so we know what to expect in that sense, but also going into it with a goal that GC-wise, you know that the body's going to hold up as it did last year, and we've prepared better for the demands of the event this year. With the team around us, so you know, everything's pointing towards doing a better result this year. So I think that's kind of, you know, everything, as I said, has gone perfect, and it's just more excitement now about going out there and putting the whole process together.
Now, I've been watching you, and I've been reporting about you for many years now, winning Olympic medals, the 3 golds. You got your silver, you got your bronze, you got 6 medals in total, haven't you? I think. Yeah, so it must be great. You've lost count. Who's counting, hey? But you get to 30 years old. Yes. Been doing this a long time, and to find something new to get your juices going must be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's after Beijing, obviously it was. I wouldn't say I'd had enough of the track, but you know, you start to get to a point where you can only go back and do it again. And there was always a question mark whether my events would be scrapped at the Olympics, which they subsequently were. Unfortunately for me, you know, I managed to transform myself and come and find something else to keep me entertained for the next few years. And there's not many athletes that get that, so you never discount Lance Armstrong. He wouldn't be starting the race if he didn't feel that he could do what he hopes to do. So obviously Contador's still the strong favourite. He's proven all season that he's been every race he's started, he's almost won. So
you'd actually say strong favourite, would you?
Oh, without doubt, he's the favourite to win the Tour de France. You know, there's always got to be a favourite, and on this occasion it's him. You know,
well, here's the question, Brad. If I ask you, can you win the Tour de France? I know that's a stupid question, but which is not the first one I've asked you over the years, Brad. But obviously everybody says, yeah, I can win it. But do you genuinely believe you can win the Tour de France, as opposed to you could do pretty well?
Physically, I'm capable of winning it. Yes. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that go into that. You know, you need a bit of luck during the race. Obviously, crashes can come into it. But physically, as I am, power to weight ratio and all that sort of stuff, I'm in the ballpark to win the Tour de France. Now, whether that happens or not is another thing. You know, it's not quantifiable, it's not controllable as the track used to be, with predicting times, etc. So there's going to be a lot that goes into it. Obviously, the mental side is just as huge as the physical side. Having a strong team behind you, which I have this year, and I'm capable of winning something like the Tour as it stands. But you know, like I say, a lot goes into it, and one day it could seem as if it's beyond you, and the next day something could happen, and Contador could blow or crash, or who knows. So you know, the thing could change around quite a few times, but we're in the ballpark, and that's the main thing. The rest of it is bike racing.
Now, what I like about you, Brad, is that you're not in any shape or form you don't sort of go to the conformities of sport. You're very much your own person, and looking worried there. And you know, when you're in the peloton, for example, sometimes you'll take the mickey, won't you? You have a bit of fun, bit of mischief. You'll shout out. You know to be shouting out, "This is what it's all about," for example. Which I'm sure the others, the very stony-faced French, must wonder, what are you going on about?
A few people think I'm a bit nutty, but I mean, it's sometimes, you know, sport can just become too big a thing for so many people, and it's not life or death. You know, we're all out there trying to do the same thing, and you know, I think you got to have a good laugh along the way, and you know, that's not going to change the end result whether you're laughing or you're dead serious. I mean, being serious is about training and dedicating your life to the cause, but when you get to the bike racing and that, and you're going through the process, you know, you've got to smile and enjoy your way through it, otherwise sport's boring. What's the point in doing sport if you're going to look back in 20 years time and think, God, I hated that, you know, I wish I could have done it a bit different or enjoyed it a bit more, because you know, it's so hard at the top, and it's so hard to keep maintaining, and all the weight of expectation, everyone's expectation on you. But you know, I mean, it's other people's expectation, and I know what I have to do. I know what I have to go through the process to do it, and you know, I'm going to enjoy it along the way and have a laugh at it. So,
if you got £5 for everybody who remarked that there's a similarity with Paul Weller, would you be wealthier than you already are?
Probably, yeah.
Coincidence or what? Not wholly.
I don't know. I just love his music. I love what he stands for and everything, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do. I just do sport and people focus in on it more than that, so it's just a lot of my mates do, so it's just one of many.
But you've also got am I right in saying, Brad, I nearly called you Paul then, Brad, you've also got a series of guitars at home?
Yeah.
Is that right? Do you play them?
Yes, when I can. I don't get as much time to practice as I do on my bike, and they always take a back seat when I'm cycling and that, but I do collect vintage guitars.
Do you?
It's my one weakness.
What have you? Well, that's people have cars, people have clocks. You have guitars. How many guitars have you got?
About 17. Yeah.
17. And what have you got? Sort of Fenders and Gibsons and Les Pauls and
Telecasters and acoustic ones. So.
Really? If there was God forbid, there was a fire, and you had to go and save one, you only had time to save one, what would it be?
1964 335 Gibson with a Bigsby on it.
Really?
Black. BB King black.
Really? You mentioned Ricky Hassan and you mentioned Joe Kawasaki. I know that's another big interest bordering on passion?
Yeah, just other people have other sports and football and things. I love watching boxing. And
Why particularly?
I don't know, I've just always, since I was a kid, my dad was into boxing a lot. And used to box when he was a kid, and obviously when I met him again when I was 18, I realised that he was into boxing, so we shared something straight away. That was the only thing we had in common at that time, was boxing, so it was kind of, I've always been into it, yeah. Just.
Any particular heroes?
Yeah, a lot more of the sort of underdogs really. Thomas Hans, who was not necessarily an underdog, but
It was against Hagler.
Yeah, and Sugar Ray and that. But Joe Frazier as well, although he was a great heavyweight, was more of an underdog in the sense that everyone assumed Ali was better in form, and he lost to some of the biggest guys as well. But
what was it about Frazier? Was it his just almost rather die than be beaten attitude?
Yes, I loved his kind of. I loved the way he kind of would take on anyone, you know, regardless of people's perceptions that, oh, there's no way you're going to win this fight or whatever, but he would still take him on, and even if he lost, he remained the same person, which I loved about it. The same with Thomas Hearns, you know, he put himself up there, And Calzaghe, you know, to a degree. I mean, he could have easily retired way before Bernard Hopkins, and still came back and fought him, you know, and put his reputation on the line and everything. And you know, fantastic, really.
Well, Bradley, we wish you all the very best. It would be absolutely fantastic if you could, well, to be honest, if you could even emulate or beat what you did last year. And we wish you all the best, and keep smiling and keep making mischief on the peloton. Yeah?